In this video, I'm going to show you how to get unlimited Silverfish mother parts. And it's not as difficult as you may think. And the first thing that we need to do is go into the Rs mod. Now, I don't know how to say that mod correctly, so I'm just going to refer to it as Rs. And we need to get the logs. And you can do that by planting any of the trees and getting the Vex logs to turn into Vex planks, which we'll need a little bit later on to make a few other little things. However, we needed the Vex logs for source jars, and I'll show you how the source jars work, because there are different ways you can generate source. You can generate it through mobs breeding / being killed. You can generate it through crops growing. And those are just a few of the methods, and those two are going to be the primary methods that we use for any source in today's video. However, one thing I did notice, a lot of these recipes do use source gems, and I know we don't have a lot of them. So I think we should set up a way of getting some source gems passively. And you can do this by just using a lapis chicken, and I'll have to make an imbuement chamber. Now, this is quite a simple setup. You put the lapis chicken above the imbuement chamber with a pipe pulling out the lapis, puts it in to the imbuement chamber. Now, I thought it automatically outputs the item into the drawer. No, it doesn't. So you'll have to have another pipe going from the imbuement chamber to the drawer, and that is how you get passive source gems. Now, if you really wanted to, you could put a filter on there so it doesn't pull out the lapis by accident, or you can just lock the drawer, which is what I did. So with the source gems getting automatically made for us, we now need to start getting some source, and the way you do that is using source links. Now, there are two that we're going to use in today's episode. The first one being the Vitalic source link. And this is the one that we can put on our mob farm, and when mobs die near it, it'll use their souls. It'll use their souls and turn it into source, filling our source jars. However, this isn't going to be the one we use by the Silverfish mother ritual table. Why? Because we'll have to set up a whole new mob farm over there, which will just take too much time. But either way, this is a really good first way of getting a lot of source, because we set up a mob farm very early on in the series. We'll set up the other source link a little bit later on in this episode. But why did we get into the Rs mod? Well, we need these Drigamy charms. Now, to get these Drigamy charms, we're going to need to set up an enchanting apparatus, which all uses our source gems, which has been running for a little bit now. So we'll use them to make some of this arcane stone, which we're going to need a hell of a lot of. And then it's on to making the enchanting apparatus. Now, I messed up here and I made a lot of these enchanting apparatuses. Yep, let's roll with that. When you only needed to make one, it was the pedestals that you needed a lot of. In fact, you needed 8 pedestals. I thought it was the other way around. Small brain me. We're also going to need one of these arcane cores. And once we have that, we can start making the enchanting apparatus. And the arrangement of these items is 8 pedestals in a 3x3 around the outside, leaving the center open for the arcane core, and then the enchanting apparatus on top of the arcane core. And for safety, I'm also going to grab one of our source jars that is now full, just in case this enchanting apparatus needs source to work. And that is this, all ready and set up. Now we just need the items to make the Drigamy charms. And here is how you would make the Drigamy charms. Now you just need 3 source gems, which we have being automated. We're going to want 4 Silverfish Mother Hearts, which I've already killed about 8, so we could make at least 2 of these Drigamy charms. And we need some sort of seeds, any kind of seeds, and a mystery item in the middle. What is that mystery item? Well, it's called a Drigamy shard. How does one get these Drigamy shards? Well, you have to find these little people, the ones with the horns on the head, and trade with them. Now you can get these to spawn in using the delightful dirt, and the way you trade with them is just give them a Wilden horn that we can get from our mob farm, because it's just a mob drop. Drop at them, you do a little dance, they get all happy, and out pops a Drigamy shard. Now I've already saved you 20 minutes of this. I've got all 10. However, we can't make all 10 Drigamy charms just yet, but that is the maximum amount we will be making in this episode today, because I'm pretty sure that's the maximum amount that you can have anyway. And this is how one would lay it out. The 4 Silverfish Mother Hearts on first with the seeds, and then the source gems with the Drigamy charm in the middle on the enchanting apparatus. It does some magical things, and bang, there you go, you got a Drigamy charm. So I'll do this another time because we have the stuff to do it another time, and then we'll start making our next item. And that other item that we're going to need is just a stasis chamber. Yes, that's it. It's that simple. All we need is Drigamy charge and a stasis chamber. Now, we've already made the stasis chamber before in one of the Wither episodes not so long ago. If you want to go back and watch that, it's already on the channel. If you want to drop a subscription while you're there, please do. That would be amazing. Why not like the video as well while you're here? But if not, then the playlist does come up at the end of the video, so make sure to stick around and then click that playlist. You can watch all the episodes. Right, that's the plug over and done with. Back to the stasis chamber. So we already have everything pretty much that we need to make the stasis chamber. We've got the pink slime, we've got latex, we've got aether gas. And once we have this stasis chamber, we're actually ready to start making and farming Silverfish Mother Hearts. So off we head to the dungeon that contains the Silverfish Mother table. So now that you're here, I'm going to be a knob and tell you, you might want some fences, you're going to want some snad and some cactus, the source link that I'm about to tell you about in a few minutes. But now that we're here, directly underneath the ritual starting table, put the stasis chamber, make sure it's powered. And then what I did with the fences was counted 5 diagonal on all 4 corners, and then just connected it up, and that was the Silverfish Mother chamber, if you will. However, it shouldn't really move because it's in the stasis chamber. It's just to keep all the other mobs on the outside from getting to it, and so the Drigamies don't start farming those. So if the creeper walks in the stasis chamber, it'll start farming the creeper as well as the Silverfish Mother, which will take away from the efficiency of the Silverfish Mother Heart. We don't want that, so we just put a few fences round. So now on to making the chamber for the Drigamies, so where they have a protected place to sit and they ain't going to get attacked by anything around them. So I'm going to place just a small fenced area, and it also acts as a guide on where we can start making our source for them. Now, to get these Drigamies to spawn in, you need to right-click the Drigamy charm on a mossy cobblestone block. So I placed a couple of them down, just as a guide. I'm not going to activate them just yet, because I want to start getting the source set up. And the way we're going to generate source is pretty simple. So, source jars against the fence line, and then I'll leave a little bit of space for the source link that we're going to be using, and this one is called the agronomic source link, and this one will farm any sort of growth from crops, generate it into source, send it to the source jars, and the Drigamies will use the source from the source jars to then work. So again, we'll leave some space from the source link to the cactus. I'm going to place 3 snad down, leaving a space in between each one, otherwise the cactus won't grow. And just behind those, 1 block above floor level, I'm going to put a fence So as the cactus grows to 2 blocks tall, it breaks instantly. And then how am I going to stop the items from just keep building up? I'm going to use an item collector and a bin and throw that on the back so nothing else gets picked up other than the cactus, and that's it. So nothing other than the cactus will get picked up and binned. And once we've filtered the cactus in the item collector, we can start placing down the cactus and generating some source. Now for item collection, i.e. the way we're going to send the Silverfish Mother Hearts to our refined storage system. That's simple, just a line of pipes underneath the cobblestone going straight to an ender chest will send it right to our refined storage system, or so I thought. So I spawned in the Drigamies to see if this would work. Once the magical things had happened and the blocks had changed and they were spawned in, the pipes didn't connect. So the only way I know how to do this, or to get around this, is with a chest acting like an inventory for the heart to go into first, and then pulling from the chest, going straight into the end chest, which will then go to the refined storage system. And with that being said, we're ready to spawn in the Silverfish Mother, and hopefully this will work. However, we had a bit of a problem. The Drigamies kind of escaped and got into the Silverfish Mother pen. And that was bad. So I hastily went home and made a mob backpack from Tinker's Construct using my own blood. Yes, that's right, you heard me. I had to use my own blood. Picked them up, put them back on the pedestals. And after a little bit of time, because these things, they take a while to generate. I never really explained how these things work, did I? So the way these work is they harvest the mob drops without actually killing the mob. That's why we needed these Drigamies. And the more you have, the quicker it goes, because instead of generating 2 at a time, I'll be generating 10 at a time, because the max is 10 that you can do. It was a slow process, but to keep track on the process, what I did was I went home. Instead of just staying at home all the time and just waiting and hopefully the chunk loading is working, I went and made a wireless crafting terminal and the transmitter so I could access my refined storage system from anywhere I can in the world, providing that I had the upgrades, which I did go on and make. So I'm now going to let this run, and I'll catch you back when we have the rest of the hearts that we need to create the rest of the Drigamies. About an hour and a half later, we have all the hearts that we need to make up the rest of the 10 Drigamies. And now you have joined me back as I am making those. And now let's place them down. And look at all of those green orbs flying everywhere. By the way, the green orbs above their pedestals is like their progress, if you will. So you can keep an eye on it that way. But either way, it still takes a couple of minutes. And about 5 minutes after placing them all down, you can see we're starting to just get a few trickle in now. But that's going to do us for today's episode. So if you have enjoyed it and you found it quite useful, then make sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, and I will see you all again for the next stone block video. Goodbye.